Hi everyone. Be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button for more scary stories. The Rake. The Rake is a monster that is depicted as usually tall, hairless, pale, humanoid creature who generally crouches or crawls on all four. This is the story of the Rake. I loved hanging out with my grandparents. They lived in the countryside. My grandfather owned a farm, and it was great. It was a cattle farm. And that summer, I decided to go and be with them. I helped out my grandfather out on the farm. It's just a little fun. I don't know. I really enjoyed that type of work. But one day, everything was going to change. Until today, I have yet to return to that farm. It started off as a regular day. I had just gotten up. My grandfather asked me to help him. The tractor was dead, so we decided to give it a little repair. We worked all day on it. We were exhausted. It was roughly around 8 o'clock at night. My grandmother cooked us some dinner because we hadn't eaten all day. After dinner, my grandfather read the newspaper, and I told him I was going to go to bed. I was exhausted. I got into bed and I laid down. It felt like I only fell asleep for less than 5 minutes when my grandfather barged into the door and told me to come outside with him. He handed me a shotgun. See, my grandfather, he was also a hunter, and he had taught me how to hunt. I ran downstairs and got outside. He told me something was bothering the cows out there. So, with shotgun in hand, we both walked to the barn. We opened it up. What we saw was the most horrific scene I've ever seen ever. It was almost out of a movie. There was blood everywhere. Almost like something came in and just tore the cows apart for fun. The police came and investigated. They called it a bear attack. But no bear would do such a thing. At least from my experience. After the barn was cleaned up, I talked to my grandfather and I asked him what he was going to do. He said he wanted to set up a trap and see if he can catch the bear. Or so we thought. I had this stupid idea that I was going to regret later on. I told him that I would camp out in the barn. I figured I'd stay in the attic of the barn. It was a little bit safer there, just in case. I got ready and I fell asleep. Something woke me. It sounded like something screeching. I could hear it. It was crawling outside the barn. And it slowly went into the window and crawled inside. That's when I got the first good look at it. I don't know how to describe it. This humanoid type thing with claws, and it crawled on the floor. It made this awful screeching noise. I'm not too sure how to describe it. But what I do remember is it took a calf with it and it ran off like if it was nothing. I waited, and finally, when I had the courage to finally move, I exited the attic and ran out the door. Went to my grandparents' house and I told my grandfather what I saw. He saw how petrified I was. And he told me never to go back out there again. That was the last time that anything like that happened again. Maybe it moved on, I don't know. After the summer ended, I did my research. And I found some weird stories about something called the Rake. This creature is dangerous. And apparently, if it would have found me, I don't know if I would have been alive to tell this story. All I know is, I never want to go back to my grandparents' house again. Sometimes the ideas we have are great, but they can also cost our lives.